guys, this is April and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to read the second chapter of the Book of Ruth. If you missed the first chapter, then you can refer to my previous video. I'm gonna paste a link below. Okay, so who is Ruth? Ruth is a Moabite woman who got married to an Israelite man, right? And then she came to live with her widowed stepmother-in-law, whose name is Naomi. Now we're gonna continue reading their story, her story in particular, and find out what happened next after they went back to Bethlehem. Okay, so let's start. Ruth gleans in Boaz's field. Now there was a wealthy and influential man in Bethlehem named Boaz, who was a relative of Naomi's husband, Elimelech. One day, Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go out into the harvest fields to pick up the stalks of grain left behind by anyone who is kind enough to let me do it." Naomi replied, "All right, my daughter, go ahead." So Ruth went out to gather grain behind the harvesters. And as it happened, she found herself working in a field that belonged to Boaz, the relative of her father-in-law, Elimelech. While she was there, Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and greeted the harvesters. "The Lord be with you," he said. "The Lord bless you," the harvesters replied. Then Boaz asked his foreman, "Who is that young woman over there? Who does she belong to?" And the foreman replied, "She is the young woman from Moab who came back with Naomi. She asked me this morning if she could gather grain behind the harvesters. She has been hard at work ever since, except for a few minutes rest in the shelter." Boaz went over and said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, stay right here with us when you gather grain. Don't go to any other fields. Stay right behind the young women working in my field. See which part of the field they are harvesting, and then follow them. I have warned the young men not to treat you roughly. And when you are thirsty, help yourself to the water they have drawn from the well." Ruth fell at his feet and thanked him warmly. "What have I done to deserve such kindness?" she asked. "I am only a foreigner." "Yes, I know," Boaz replied. "But I also know about everything you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband. I have heard how you left your father and mother and your own land to live here among complete strangers. May the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge, reward you fully for what you have done." "I hope I continue to please you, sir," she replied. "You have comforted me by speaking so kindly to me, even though I am not one of your workers." At mealtime, Boaz called to her, "Come over here and help yourself to some food. You can dip your bread in the sour wine." So she sat with the harvesters, and Boaz gave her some roasted grain to eat. She ate all she wanted and still had some left over. When Ruth came back to work again, Boaz ordered his young men, "Let her gather grain right among the sheaves without stopping her, and pull out some heads of barley from the bundles and drop them on purpose for her. Let her pick them up, and don't give her a hard time." So Ruth gathered barley there all day, and when she beat out the grain that evening, it filled an entire basket. She carried it back into town and showed it to her mother-in-law, Ruth. To her mother-in-law. Ruth also gave her the roasted grain that was left over from her meal. "Where did you gather all this grain today?" Naomi asked. "Where did you work? May the Lord bless the one who helped you." So Ruth told her mother-in-law about the man in whose field she had worked. She said, "The man I worked with today is named Boaz." "May the Lord bless him," Naomi told her daughter-in-law. "He is showing his kindness to us as well as to your dead husband. That man is one of our closest relatives, one of our family redeemers." Then Ruth said, "What's more, Boaz even told me to come back and stay with his harvesters until the entire harvest is completed." "Good," Naomi replied. "Do as he said, my daughter. Stay with his young women right through the whole harvest. You might be harassed in other fields, but you'll be safe with him." So Ruth worked alongside the women in Boaz's field and gathered grain with them until the end of the barley harvest. Then she continued working with them through the wheat harvest in early summer. And all the while, she lived with her mother-in-law. So that's the end of chapter 2. What are the things that we can look at in the second chapter of this book? Now, as you can remember, Ruth and Naomi arrived in Bethlehem during the time of harvest. So, sa time na yon, yung mga landowners, they hire harvesters para mag-cut ng stocks ng grain and barley. Okay? Tapos, itatali nila yon. Now, sa law ng Israel, yung corners ng land mo, hindi mo yan dapat i-harvest. Okay? Kasi you're gonna leave those corners para sa mga mahihirap na walang makain. So, another thing dun sa law ng Israel is yung mga nahuhulog na grains ng wheat is iniiwan na yon para sa mga mahihirap. Okay, so that the poor can pick up those grains and gamitin nila yun para sa pagkain. That is called gleaning. So that's what Ruth did. Ruth, being a foreigner, is, syempre mahirap yun kasi wala ka namang kakilala dun sa lugar and hindi ka naman talaga taga doon. Pero siya, hindi na siya naghintay ng good fortune from her mother-in-law. She took initiative to take action. She got up and she looked for work. Kahit makaklasify mo yung pandadampot ng grains sa field as below parang a blue-collar job, ginawa niya yun. So, parang walang arte-arte, walang keme-keme. I need to do this kasi I need to, me and my stepmother-in-law must eat, diba? Tayo ba? Pag may need tayo, are we waiting for God to provide? Or baka naman iniintay lang tayo ni God na kumilos before He provides, no? Kasi minsan, diba, parang na-stuck ka na lang na wala kang ginagawa. Parang we should realize na, hey, it's up to us to work. And then, yung provision, yung Diyos na yung bahala doon. Okay. And dun sa work ni Ruth, kahit medyo degrading yung work, ginawa niya yun faithfully. No? Talagang nag-hard work siya in order to do it. So, tayo, kapag, halimbawa, nabigyan tayo ng work na, alam mo yan, parang hindi naman para sa akin yung work na yan kasi masyado namang pang mababa yung work na yan. Okay, do we do it faithfully yung work? Baka naman kasi kaya ganun yung work na nandyan sa'yo is yun yung available for you at the moment. Or siguro that's what God wants you to do. No? Or siguro katulad ba tayo ni Ruth na baka naman tinetest lang yung character natin. No? How are we gonna respond dun sa situation na yun? Are we gonna let pride take over? Or gagawin ba natin yung trabaho ng walang keme-keme? Walang hiya-hiya, trabaho lang. No? Okay, so and then from Ruth, we can see na ang dami niyang desirable traits. No? She is a hard worker, very loving, kind, faithful, and brave. So, yung qualities na yon that allowed her to gain good reputation. So, yun yung nakarating kay Boaz, no? Kasi your reputation travels with you. Your reputation is being built by consistent action. So, kasi si Ruth, consistent siya sa qualities na yon. Kahit saan siya magpunta, kahit sino yung kasama niya, consistent siya na loving, hard worker, ano ba? Brave, faithful, and kind. Tayo, sana yung maganda yung reputation na mabuild natin, and sana consistent tayo. That's what my friend used to tell me na consistency is key. So, ayan. We have to be consistent to do good, to do what is right, kahit saan tayo magpunta, kahit sino yung kasama natin. Huh? And then, ano pa ba? Si Boaz. Okay, so Boaz was introduced in our story now. So, si Boaz is a wealthy man, and relative pala siya nung asawa ni Naomi. Okay, so, Boaz, dahil nag-uumapaw yung blessings sa kanya, nagbibigay siya sa may hirap. From the story, nakita natin na si Boaz, sinabi niya dun sa mga tauhan niya na mag-iwan kayo ng stalks of grain sa nadadaanan ni Ruth. Okay, so, hindi siya madamot. Galing. And, as for Naomi, di ba, dun sa first chapter kasi medyo bitter siya. Bitter siya towards God for what happened to her. Pero ngayon, makikita natin na despite that bitterness, there's still that faith in the Lord. No? Faith, andun pa rin yung faith niya na nandyan pa rin yung Diyos. Okay? Kasi, di ba, pinraise niya si God nung nalaman niya na si Boaz yung provide, doon nag-harvest si Ruth. So, tayo, during some hard times, bitter situation, sana wag tayong mawalan ng faith sa Diyos. No? Kasi, He's always there. He's always there. Siguro, today is a new opportunity for us to experience yung care na yun from the Father. Okay, so, that's it for today. Stay tuned, because we're gonna read on the next chapter, chapter 3. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you like this video, kindly hit the subscribe button, and syempre yung like, subscribe, and yung notification bell, so that you can be notified. You will be notified whenever we have a new video coming out, because I'd be reading this book for you. Okay, and let's study things together. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and God bless you all. Bye bye.